This week on the White Knuckle Web Show, I will be starting the most strenuous part of my whitetail season. And I'm not gonna do it barefoot like the dudes on the survival show. Sorry, I like my feet. I'm out in a spot where I think I'm gonna need tree stand. There's an old one up here from years past, but I think I'm gonna actually go up that same tree. It's got screw-in steps all the way up there. I'm gonna put a safe line, cut that old stand down, put my lone wolf up, and then that will be a quick one. And I'm not gonna trim. I'm gonna leave quite a bit of cover up here, but so sweet, man. Now all I gotta do is get this sucker set up. Welcome to episode 1 of The Sweats.
Is that not the most epic sit in a tree stand?
I'm pretty sure it's a yes, it is.
Oh my God, he's giant. His shot looked good.
It's all I want every year right there. Look at this thing.
What do you think of that?
That is huge.
Bam!
Perfect. Came right in.
I'm standing out in the sanctuary food plot. This clover has been coming in beautifully. Some real world chicory clover. There's some weeds in here. It's a first year plot, but overall I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of food, and it goes a long way this way, and then it goes all around right here. My whole intention or purpose of putting this food plot in this year was to hang a stand in one of these trees right up here behind me. I had a trail camera in this tree right up there overlooking this major scrape. Right here. It's a big community scrape every year. And so I had put my camera up in late October and I never touched it until after hunting season was over. When I checked my camera, I got a lot of buck pictures. This was definitely a core area. Cruising, along this edge, this is exactly what that is. So I set this whole food plot up just in mind for that. Scrape right here, and then the big thing is there's a creek that wraps all the way around this whole area, so it's very secluded. But my gut is, I know these does bed along here. The bucks are going to know that, so that's why they're doing the searches. They're checking for does along these edges, bed along the creek, kind of out of the way spots, and working this community scrape. So anyway, I got to figure out what tree. I've been looking at these trees for a year now, trying to figure out which one's the best scenario, and so far I'm not sure. The one I have been planning on setting up in, I just don't know. You can see right there, that's where pretty much all the cover is, and that's the way it is during the season. There are a few different trunks to play with up here, but one of my big considerations is going to be how high I want to go, and where all that starts to break up or starts splitting. It's probably about 14 or 15 feet. In this case, I might be better off going low, all among those trunks. I'm just, no matter which way I go, this is going to be a tough set. I got to consider cameraman. It's just, this is always the toughest part. But that's where I need to be, that little spot right there. Because for wind, anything blowing from the west, this will work better. Anyway, this is what this tree looks like. I'm going up the smooth one, but it's got a bunch of knots and a bunch of turns on it. Not knots, but I'm going to have my work cut out for me. But I'm confident I can get one in there. Let's face it, trimming stands is as close to the hot spot underground as I want to get. It's a ton of work, but at the same time, it's the only way I can test the latest Wicked designs, real world, and real work. This is Wicked Tree Gear R&D. So far, so good. I got the stand set. The first couple stands here I've had, I feel spoiled. I haven't, they've been kind of more in open areas right along this trail, so I haven't had too much trimming, just kind of been more of a couple branches here and there thing, which I'm not going to complain about. This year, my goal is to trim as little as possible while still doing what my gut says I need to do. So these I've just been lucky. I know I'm gonna pay for it here at some point. But one of my favorite tactics for trimming branches is the hinge cut, where you just cut enough to let it fall down, and I leave the actual branch hanging there. Because right now they're green, but when you cut it halfway and let it fall down, they die. All those leaves turn brown, and they actually hold on to the leaves quite a while. So I'm gonna kind of demonstrate that here real quick by just cutting real close to the tree and just letting them fall over. And I actually twist my saw. People ask me all the time, what is the Wicked utility hook used for? This is what I use it for most of the time. Just to be able to hang my pole saw up before I climb is one of the greatest aspects of the utility hook there is. I am up in my tree here. I'll take you for a mini tour here. You can see the creek below me here. And so I'm gonna come right along this creek edge, sneak right up to the bottom of the stand. And then my primary shot's right down here. It's that beautiful food plot. Got a shot right down through here. One right here. So rock and roll, man. Got the safe line installed. I'm attached to it right now, but that makes it a lot easier coming and going. So number 2 is done. Many more yet to go. I'm out trying to find the spot I'm gonna kill a giant. I'm very close to where I killed Rusty, and this is the main run. Coming in this direction, and then there's a main run that runs down through here. So a couple spots they can cross this creek right here. There's like a drainage, and this is right in Rusty's neighborhood. So pretty much from this crossing up, they can cross sporadically wherever, and they will. And then it's blocked off pretty good behind me here. There's some trees and stuff that block it, and then it opens up again. So this is like the major gap. What I usually do, my tip is, whenever you come in here and you see all this main sign, all these huge runways that all intersect, and it looks like a deer superhighway. Big bucks generally won't just walk down those trails. Now they will in certain areas. They're not pressured, but usually it's uncharacteristic for a big mature whitetail to just take the trail that everything else takes. It's just not how they work. So usually my rule of thumb is try to go downwind of the major crossings by 20-30 yards at least. The tree that I want to set up in is right there. Between the spot where I need to walk in, between here and there, is about 10 trees that all got pushed down right here in a storm or by a bulldozer years ago or something, but there's no quiet way to go through this, so that's why I brought my chainsaw. So I'm literally going to chainsaw a path right through these trees just so I can sneak into my main tree quietly, and do it by hand would take forever. Hanging out up in a tree, and this is what I see. A whole lot of branches. I gotta have a pretty major lane someplace in here, right there, which I have a natural opening, you can see. Down through here, and then boom, 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 boom. This here around me, this all looks great right now, but that's all gonna be gone come fall when I'm up here, so I will most likely hinge cut these back and just fold them back, leave them hanging, and then they'll hold their dead leaves longer. But you can see around me, there's a bunch of small little brushy brush. This right here, so this is as good as it gets for covering this particular spot. But what this spot gives me is, this is the center hill convergence. Should be sweet, I'm excited, but I have a lot of work to do up here. I gotta get my safe line attached and then go from there. I am back out at a stand that I trimmed, 2 days ago. That's it up there. I got the stand hung and got a couple lanes trimmed, and then I was just going to come back out on a different trip, which is what I'm doing right now, to finish trimming, and instead of rushing and basically putting myself in a position of not trimming it enough, because I'm tired, I break these up, and then I come in here and can do a good job and make sure that I've got all the shots I need. But I'm all finished up here. This spot's gonna be sweet. It's kind of a mix of just a variety of different things, but I'm gonna take it for a little tour here. My shooting lanes. Right here's the main one, right through here. Another big one right up here. Got a little hole right through here, hole down here, hole down all the way through the bottom, hole up here, shot up there, shot right here, shot over here, and that's where I'm calling it. And then on this side, shot and shot. So this is a pretty cool setup right here. This is, I don't know, 50, 60 yards from where I killed Rusty up here. So I'm pretty excited to give this one a shot.
Thanks for watching the White Knuckle Web Show. Next week, we're losing weight.
When you hunt without a lone wolf tree stand, your stand creaks and makes noise. When your stand creaks and makes noise, you don't see any deer all day. When you don't see any deer all day, you tend to become depressed. And when you get depressed, you take up scrapbooking. When you take up scrapbooking, you put together a collage of other people's deer. Don't take up scrapbooking. Use lone wolf tree stands, your silent partner.
When my wife asked me to marry her, I said yes, but on one condition. Only if it was out of a lone wolf tree stand.
They are truly the best tree stand there is on the market. In my mind, if there weren't lone wolf, I guess I'd hunt out of a crick in a tree because, you know, they are the best. They're quality, they're made in America, and their customer service is also just outstanding.
It's our silent partner. It enables us to get into the stands, sets without making noise. They're lightweight, the versatility, being able to pack them in and then to get in any type of tree. It doesn't matter if it's a oak, a locust, a cedar. You can adapt their stands to any kind of angles and different angles to get all your shots that you need.
There's only one tree stand I ever have used and I have ever believed in. And from that day, about 17 years ago, Lone Wolf. Best product out there for the money. There's not another tree stand that I trust my life with.
I appreciate my Lone Wolf stands more and more and more for the safety, the ease of setup, the accessories that come with them. I love my harness, I love the safety ropes. More and more, I do not want to climb up into something that makes my hair stand up, where when I was a kid it didn't bother me a bit. I think a lot more about that now, and I want to go home in one piece, and I appreciate those things more and more and more the more I use.